In 1995, Dark Horse Comics released 4 one-off comics about Jabba the Hutt, and today I'd like to introduce some original artwork from one of those comics. These are 2 pages from an issue titled The Gaar Suppoon Hit. I love these comics because they're about Jabba's life before the Star Wars movies, and show how devious he could be, and give you some idea of how a giant slug-like alien like him could become the head of a crime syndicate. The artwork is of course much larger than the finished comic book. Each page is on an illustration board that is 19 by 12 inches. In the comic book, these were on different sides of the same page, and I like them because they tell a little story that's more or less understandable even if you haven't read the rest of the comic. They're from a sequence that shows how crafty Jabba was. He's in the middle of negotiations to trade a kidnapped scientist, Dr. Pontak, for an illegal and very venomous tromonid that he wanted to use for breeding purposes. His adversary thinks that he has the upper hand over Jabba when he secretly gives him a tromonid that had been sterilized. But as it turned out, Jabba had Dr. Pontak's brain removed and was holding it back as a bargaining chip. On the second page, his adversary threatens Jabba's life. I won't spoil the ending of the encounter, but suffice it to say that Jabba shows just how far ahead he is able to plan. And I don't think I'm spoiling anything to tell you that Jabba does come out on top in the end. These pages were originally drawn in pencil by Art Wetherell, and then inked by Monty Sheldon, and I got them directly from Mr. Sheldon. I've never owned any original comic artwork before, so I find it fascinating. Here, for example, you can see that they've actually pasted the speech bubbles on top of the existing artwork. Plus, there are a few places like this where mistakes have been corrected with whiteout. You can also see traces of the original pencil artwork in places. Of course, none of this comes through in the final comic. As I understand it, the pages were digitally colored. Here's a comparison between one of the pages and the final version from the comic. I have these hanging directly over my desk in my office, so I see them every day. They're definitely one of my favorite pieces in my collection. If you're a Jabba fan, I strongly recommend that you pick up the 4 one-off issues that Dark Horse Comics produced. There's even a compilation of all of them, titled The Art of the Deal. There's the one. You can get this fairly easily in both physical and digital formats, and it also has cover art of one of my all-time favorite paintings of Jabba, by Monty Sheldon, who inked these pages. Come back tomorrow for more artwork on the Advent Calendar.